Hi, welcome to the program. I'm Alex Lewis. This week I spoke to Kafnu's general manager, Lien Chu. Kafnu is a real-world social network for entrepreneurs and creatives, and their 12-story building located on Mingsheng East Road in downtown Taipei is a vertical village that looks to take care of all of their clients' needs.
Hi, my name is Lien Chu, and I am the General Manager for North Asia of Kafnu and also the Vice President of Human Capital. Really excited to be here today.
So can you tell me about Next Story Group and then speak on how NSG, or Next Story Group, came to the decision that they wanted to create Kafnu?
Yeah, for sure. So Next Story Group was formerly Silver Needle Hospitality, and last year they brought into the company brand Karma, which is a marketing agency, Versa, that specializes in virtual reality, and with its existing portfolio of hotels called Next Hotels, Silver Needle then reemerged as the Next Story Group. So how did Kafnu come about? We recognize the growing demands of the sharing economy. In fact, there was a research done by Nielsen that actually shows 81% of APAC consumers would share and rent from others. So acknowledging commute time, traffic, real estate prices rising in the region, we know that rapid urbanization has basically led to untapped idle resources. So as a result of that, the way we think about space has really changed. Consumers and businesses we know are getting more communal, they're getting more value conscious and prefer experience over ownership. So we feel that Kafnu is that solution. So what's Kafnu? Kafnu is an urban shared space where we create an ecosystem and a physical social network that bridges to the shared economy. We really go beyond the traditional co-working spaces and offer an organic mix of work, play, live, learn, rest elements so that we can have social interaction and innovation. That becomes the very core of what we do. So basically, we want to create a cutting-edge work environment to attract entrepreneurs and creatives, experienced professionals from diverse backgrounds, and people who get things done from all over Asia to be part of the Kafnu Shared Network.
So Kafnu was announced in June, and it launched its first space in Hong Kong in October, and then the Taipei branch is opening in January 16th, 2018. And then Bangalore, Sydney, Melbourne, Ho Chi Minh, and Colombo are all due to launch in 2018. Could you tell me how these spaces were chosen, and then specifically why Taipei was chosen as the second location?
Yeah, sure. We do have aggressive plans to expand the Kafnu brand in the next year. And in addition to those 5 confirmed locations, we actually have other properties in the development pipeline. So now in terms of selecting locations, we focus on the Pacific Rim, Southern and Northern Asian regions and urban centers with vibrant media, tech, business, and artistic communities. So why Taipei? Other than the fact that one of our founding fathers is from here and how awesome Taipei is, we did an enormous amount of market research and we reviewed financial models. When we take into consideration the business environment, the needs and size of the city, Taipei was just a natural selection. We have absolute confidence in the potential of the creative communities in Taipei, and I hope to foster innovation and growth to help them succeed.
Okay, and speaking of innovation and growth, the government here has made it a priority to foster economic growth in Taiwan. They're making it easier for foreigners to live in Taiwan and streamline the bureaucracy around starting and operating a business here. There are more startups and startup incubators than before. And surveys and media reports are saying that Taiwanese are an entrepreneurial people. So, what role do you see Kafnu playing in the business community here in Taipei?
So our vision is creating a vibrant ecosystem where creators belong, collaborate, grow, thrive, and give back. So I see us offering a right mix of spaces to address the personal and lifestyle needs of members. I see us extending inspiring learning content, mental and physical well-being programs. I see our team of community managers interchanging knowledge and becoming a channel for communal interaction. And I see us offering services to catalyze members' growth and potential. So there is massive opportunity for us in Taipei to help foster growth with the local communities.
Walk me through the offerings Kafnu provides for its clients.
Yeah, so in terms of the physical offerings, we really designed the spaces with blended elements of work, live, learn, play, and rest. So let's say you've been working all day at the hot desk and you feel like moving a bit, so you decide to take a TRX class at our Oxygen Lab, which is a gym studio. You finish your workout, you pop on down to our Morsel restaurant for a quick bite, and then you grab your health smoothie, and then you head over to our community area where you can strike up a conversation with another member. Then let's say you both decide to head up to our our top floor event space. And that's where you learn about Bitcoin currency, or maybe you participate in a forum featuring female entrepreneurs. But after the event, maybe you decide to relax and enjoy a drink in Taipei's tallest speakeasy, the K2 Bar. And let's say you've had a bit too much to drink and you want to take a little nap. So you can always book a capsule in one of our spaces to rest. So that's from the physical element. From the social offering side, we provide services through partnerships on both the local and global levels in categories such as human resources, finance, accounting, legal, transport, etc. These partnerships will bring big company resources and exclusive discounts to Kafnu members who are individual entrepreneurs and even SMEs. And they could include access to a news services terminal, paid for search engines by the hour, or even access to professional video equipment or virtual reality hardware. The other aspect of services is through our teams, our community managers. They're all multi-skilled managers that were selected from not just a traditional pool of hospitality operators, but rather for their desire to help create and shape each Kafnu community. Each CM has a specialization that they can offer to our members, whether that be translation services, infographics design, caricatures, radio, television, film expertise. Members will be able to book consultation with any and all of them. These service and product offerings will free up members on what they love to do in creating the vision for their companies, rather than focusing on the nitty-gritty, say on the administration side, like finance, legal, and the company setup.
How many community managers are there?
So we have 12 community managers right now, each of them specializing in something very different and special. For example, I have one community manager who is an artist, and she is the one that has sourced all of the wonderful local artists to paint on our walls and decorate all the murals. I have another community manager who specializes in translation, and he is phenomenal when it comes to translating English to Chinese, Chinese to English, and he is also an expert in terms of creating business presentations as well. Each of our community manager adds a value to the Kafnu community, and I can see them bridging and creating that ecosystem within Kafnu.
Can you tell me a little bit about the hiring process of the community managers, and what do you think of the talent pool here in Taiwan?
So what was really interesting was that we did not want to go the traditional route of recruiting talent for Kafnu. It's a very special product offering very special services, so it was very important that we find the right people to bring into the company. And so we actually put all the applicants through an intense audition process, a little bit like American Idol, where they had 3 rounds that required video shoots, that required group projects, that required presentations, and phenomenally we received over 750 applications for the Taipei location alone. And then from that 750 applications, we narrowed it down and selected the 12 community managers. So in response to your question on talent pools, there's a massive amount of talent here in Taipei. It's just about finding the right channel to discover those hidden talents. And I think that through our process, we managed to uncover such amazing community managers who I hope that everyone will have a chance to meet at Kafnu.
So what is the idea of the ecosystem here at Kafnu?
So with the ecosystem, there are 2 different elements to it. The first side is the individual side. One of the huge components about Kafnu is that we believe in balance, and which is the reason why we focus on work, live, learn, play, and rest. We want to create an environment that allows you to foster creativity, to basically create an environment where you feel inspired to grow individually. We want you to work, but not neglect your health, which is the reason why we also have our mental and physical well-being programs. We want you to play. We want you to socialize with the community. So that's on the individual level. On another level, in terms of the ecosystem, as I mentioned earlier, we actually have quite a few Kafnu properties that are coming up, and being part of the Kafnu community isn't specific to Taipei. Eventually, we would love for you to connect with our Kafnu Hong Kong community managers or our community managers in Sydney to see how we can take your business globally, if you have that interest, of course. Otherwise, if you're traveling from location to location, you're always welcome. You'll always be part of the Kafnu community in those cities.
So how do you become a member of Kafnu?
So the best way for you to become a member, there are a couple ways of going about it. Number one, you can always go to www.kafnu.com to visit our website and book a tour, and you are more than welcome to drop by the space, check out the 13 floors that we have, check out the facilities that we have, but more importantly, meet my community managers, meet this dynamic group of individuals, and let them show you around, and they will introduce to you what our membership looks like. The second part is that you can always, if your company is interested, again, drop by, connect with our community managers. We will share with you what the 4 membership pricing tiers look like, or if you're interested in just the space, we can share with you what that looks like as well.
What were some of the challenges of getting Kafnu up and running here in Taiwan? Did the opening of Kafnu Hong Kong provide any insight on how to approach the opening here in Taipei?
So in my former life, I was with a well-established luxury hospitality group for about 12 years. I did both operations in both the pre-opening and operating context. Now, in such a large organization, you have pre-opening manuals, policies, procedures, and normally a dedicated opening team. But even with all that infrastructure, as much as you try to prepare for an opening, you will always be thrown a curveball, and you just have to be agile enough to deal with it. Fast forward to my life in Kafnu, we are actually a startup. We essentially are a startup. We don't have pre-existing guides. We don't have pre-existing operating teams to build the infrastructure. So it does take a little time, a little trial and error to build the processes that work specifically for this business model. But the advantage of that is that we get to be completely experimental. In fact, our brand personality traits are experimental, evolving, and communal. Yes, there have been operational learnings from our first opening, but that was actually the fun part. If we try an idea, if it doesn't work, we try something else. And that's where the fun and the learning comes in.
So was there a steep learning curve for the community managers when they came to Kafnu and stepped into a work culture that was so experimental, free, and so autonomous?
So what's interesting about our community managers during the audition process is, again, they weren't recruited for their experience. They were not recruited for their skills. They were recruited for their passion. And so when you look at the average age of our community managers, it's somewhere hovering between 26 and 27 years old. Some of them have a little bit of experience under them. The other ones, we are fresh graduates. But it has been a steep learning curve, because we've enabled them to use Kafnu as kind of their playground. So when you walk into Kafnu and you sit at the morsel restaurant, the way that our table settings are presented, the way that the food is presented, the tableware that you see, all of that is picked out by our chef, who is extremely talented. He's always had dreams of opening his own restaurant, and now he gets to do that with Kafnu. Yes, I'm here to guide him. Our head of Kafnu is there to guide him. He will always have his mentors and his coaches to make sure that he is still going in the right direction, but everything else is his. When you walk around Kafnu, you will see the walls being painted by local artists, handpicked by one of my community managers. When you walk through the office pods and you walk through the communal areas, you will see decorations that are also designed and decorated by my community manager. We've basically allowed them the autonomy to try new and different things. Yes, sometimes we make mistakes, but that's all part of the learning process. If we make a mistake, we help each other out, we dust ourselves off, get back on the horse and say, that's all right, we'll try a different solution. We'll tackle it a different way. In fact, one of our mottos is together we go faster. And if one of us falls behind, we will never leave that person behind. We will help that person up so that we can go together forward.
So Kafnu is basically, after the tour and this interview, seems that Kafnu is just providing a structure or a foundation for both employees and clients for them to flourish. And you just do it in a very quality way. Would you agree?
Well, thank you. I feel that Kafnu is not just a space that offers tools and services to our external clients, but absolutely it's developing our human resources as well. It's developing our people. In fact, I already have a succession planning in place for every single one of the community managers. Eventually, I want them to be the general managers of future Kafnu properties. And they know this as well. So we have regular coaching sessions, regular mentoring sessions, and I am so excited to see where they go in a year's time.
Is there anything that you'd like to discuss that we haven't talked about?
It's just been so amazing to have you here, and we're so excited to welcome the community into our space so that we can provide you the Kafnu experience. Thank you for the opportunity.
James Kerr wrote the book Legacy that tells the story of the New Zealand national rugby team, the All Blacks, and the secrets of their success. The book uses the All Blacks as a case study in how to develop leaders and accountability, how to sustain success, the importance of character, and the search for knowledge. The insights he gleans can be attributed to organizations of any background. Kerr writes, quote, "A winning organization is an environment of personal and professional development in which each individual takes responsibility and shares ownership." That book and that quote came to mind after spending an afternoon in Kafnu and talking to Lien. They're hitting all the right notes to becoming an organization of sustained success. Let's keep an eye on how they do and welcome them to Taiwan's community. Thanks for listening to Taiwan Talk. I'm Alex Lewis.